Hey guys, SmartNinja000 here. Today we're going to be back with another command block map making slow-mo video. Um, I haven't done that much progress, but we do have some things to work on in today's video. Now I don't think I've showed this off yet. We have a ding, ding, ding start. That actually sounded really weird. The go thing. But it does work, so why don't I just replicate the map start. And I've actually changed slightly some features about this, you'll notice right over there. So we're going to set it to block decay, I think we're calling it. I don't know. Now we have to wait for us to teleport, and we have to actually get a new survival or adventure, otherwise we won't destroy the blocks. That's a glitch with the fall damage. I'm going to be fixing that, but you saw the deet, boom, cool sound. Block decay is obviously as you expect, still the same. Green will, you break it. So it's exact same as you would expect. You take layers. If you fall all the way down, you have night vision, so that way you can see what you're doing down in the lower levels. 3 layers. There's a nice little 4-block drop in between them, and then of course this works perfectly. Now you don't actually get into it, but if I just go into spectator mode, I don't actually get teleported. I can be on the bottom layer spectating. It's not until I try and get. Forgot to activate it. I've also changed the anti-try and cheat away. I'm not. I think it's called. I don't know what it's called, but like the you cannot leave the map thing. It's called like. Some people call it like a server method, so like they call it the name of their server or the name of a server. But basically, this is a nice method to keep players from leaving. Now, obviously, you can X-ray through this if you position yourself correctly. You can't actually go through the walls, but you can X-ray through the blocks. I don't think that's super important. If I really wanted to, I could always put a space. And to actually get out of this, the way it's working right now is if you get up too high. You can't actually even get up too high. It's if you go through these barriers. That's when it activates. To get out of this, we just TP over 10 blocks. There's no way for spectators to get out. Here, I can show you. If I try, no matter how fast I go, I'm not going to be able to escape the map. No matter how fast. Look at that. I can fly out. Can I go down? I can go down too. There's easy ways to fix this actually. All we have to do is just thicken this black wool, and then raise some height numbers. But I'm not going to do that right now. So that will be slightly changed for the next video. What I mean by that is the way this is working is if 24 blocks underneath you there's black wool, I teleport you back. Obviously I can change the values ever so slightly, so, and again, it's only if you're in spectator mode. We have decided we're going to have 3 maps for the spleef. We have castle, submerged, I think we decided we were going to be. It's going to be like an underwater map where we'll have a sunken ship and a guardian temple, and I think we said tropical, which is island, jungle sort of thing. As for dropper maps, we've also decided to have 3. We switched everything copyrighted. We have this nice mustache man, and we got rid of the Pac-Man Ghost altogether. We want to make sure our map can be a published realm, so we want to make sure everything 100% no copyright issues there. Obviously, I don't think we will get a copyright strike on YouTube, so I don't have to worry about that, because if I make that, but I mean if I make a video or if I make a video that like, actually I think I did like a better like. I think we can do it like that. This section's, I don't know. This section, when I run through it, I always feel a little bit weird about it. I mean, it definitely looks nice with these little grass bumps, but I feel like it's just a little bit too non-linear. So, actually, and here's something I want to point out. I was working on the map. And if you notice something, I've added an anti-hunger. I'll get into that in a minute. But we're having scoreboards, and what we're doing is we're being very particular about what scoreboard we're actually using. So spleef item, that's obviously for spleef item. Block fall, that's block decay. That is obviously how quickly blocks are destroyed. Game displays which game you're going to use. Spleef timer displays how the slowness is. Anti-hunger, and spleef map will be for map, but we have to actually make some maps before I can set up the command blocks for that. Anti-hunger, this is a really nice method. If you go onto the Minecraft Realms subreddit and you want to upload a map, before you do so, I definitely recommend looking at others, and you can see some very big things like, does hunger serve a purpose? That's something that's always popping up. And when you're playing a Minecraft map, if you get hungry during the middle of the map, you lose your sprint. If you lose your sprint, you pretty much always lose. And hunger doesn't usually need to serve a purpose. And there's lots of really nice ways to remove hunger, but this is the best. You have a scoreboard objective. It is type food, and it's, you name it whatever you want. I'm calling it anti-hunger. If you have a score of 19 or lower, 19 being the maximum, then we get saturation 1. Now, here's what it does. If I go into, you can see, I'm going to give myself the highest level of hunger. We're going to, now, look, if you look, right down here where my little cursor is, where I'm hovering, it's going to be going back down. Now we're never going to be able to lose hunger. We can lose it for a bar for like the splittest second. The only reason you're able to notice it is because I have the hunger effect, and it's constantly the highest hunger. So basically everything works out great because of that. So we still have lots of features to do, like an anti-creative. If the player somehow gets into creative mode, we want to have a message pop up that says, sorry, you're not allowed to be in creative. Type tag, or scoreboard players tag a p add override, which will then allow them to override the anti-creative if like a developer or needs to get into creative, or if a server owner or just someone who's doing this in a single player LAN world, they need to adjust anything. Then they will have the option for that, but we don't want. But if someone manages to somehow cheat into creative, like they accidentally spawn in creative, or some sort of glitch, any reason why they could spawn in creative, I doubt there would be any, but just as a precaution, a little back end to it, we're adding that nice feature. And after this map, we actually have already decided on what map we're going to do next. I'm not going to spoil that though, because that will be pretty fun. But in today's video, like we did with the spleef timer, we are going to be adding a slowness. Oh, you know what? Let me just remove the command blocks that are right now active. We don't need those on. We're going to be adding an we're going to be slowing the player down. So like in spleef, your pickaxe get better, you become slower. So we will be adding a slowness effect to the player. Just because. So over time, obviously, it's called slow-mo, and this works really nicely on block decay, because it's not activated right now, but if you're moving slower, the blocks are going to be destroying quicker, so it will just get more difficult, because then you have to be very careful not to accidentally kill yourself. And also, I'm not sure if we're going to do this yet, but after a bit of time, maybe like a good 2 minutes or so. Remember, these are minigames. You're not supposed to last a good 20 minutes. This is just classic short minigames you can play. There will be the death match, which is where you can't jump and you are basically dead. So we're gonna try basically like you freeze. You literally freeze. You can't move. We're gonna try and see how that works out. Now, first thing we have to do is we have to add our scoreboard. So scoreboard objectives add, and we're going to call it. First, we want to see what our other objectives names are. So we called it block fall, and we're going to name it block timer. Now, add block timer, and this is a dummy objective. This is a timer. Now you'll notice something I've been doing. Now, if you're doing scoreboards and you start it off, I definitely recommend using camel case, which is lowercase first, so camel case. Now, I don't use camel case. But that is just because I've always done it this way. If you are starting a new map and you've never done command blocks, I definitely recommend Camel Case. Um, it's a very nice method, but I don't like to use it because I don't like to press the shift key when I'm writing commands. I like to have everything lowercase, but for like the newer versions, I'm trying to switch over. But definitely for like my new command block stuff, but for 1.8 or 1.9, you want to have very descriptive, very objectives or variables, whatever you call them, and you want to make sure like that you don't have. So if someone were to come up and say, well, what does spleef timer do? What minigame is it for? It's in the title. Block fall. Well, it's not dropper and it's not spleef, so obviously it's for blocks falling. So try and make it as obvious as possible. If you're doing timers, always write something in front of it. Never just write timer 1, timer 2, timer 3, timer 4. It just gets very annoying to try and figure out which is which. And this is just my suggestion. I probably should have mentioned this in the first episode, but I'd completely forgotten about it. And by episode 4, which is what we're on now, that is what we're going to be working on. So I'm going to keep with my version, but if you're making map camel case, and what I mean by camel case is lowercase, first word, lowercase, second word, capital, and you can just continue on with that. So like camel case Pokemon. I think that's how it works, but that's the way I've done it at least. But of course you can do it however you want. But remember, at least make them descriptive. So we have, what do we have? Block timer. So now we're going to do scoreboard players add a block timer. We're also going to do copy this, and we're going to set at a block timer to 0. We're going to add 1. Now we need to just start this up and see how it goes. Then you'll notice something actually. This command block doesn't start up until this is reached. So this command block right over there, I had extras. I moved them over here. I've also set up the command for this one. So now remember sponges. I should actually put a sponge. What sponge? Just to show this one is empty as of now. That's my suggestion for people. So if you don't have something, I didn't throw that off the edge. Okay. We're going to set the game, and now we want to do scoreboard objectives, set display, sidebar, and it is called block timer. Now we can start it up, go into adventure mode. Now we want to have as much customizability with this map as possible, so don't worry, fall damage won't be a thing. So what I'm thinking is you're going to be able to choose how many layers you actually have. So I'm thinking probably 300 is when you get your first slowness. It will say like boom. I'm also planning on adding action bar things down at below, or maybe it should be 500. Well, we want to go from slowness 1 to slowness 2 to slowness 3. Yeah, I think maybe 200. I think we'll go with 200. So we'll have slowness 4. Slowness 5, and then by 1,000 you'll be deathmatch. That seems about good. It'll be a shorter game than Spleef. Spleef lasts a little bit longer, but I think that's still perfectly fine. And you can see previous commands. Let's bring on wrong way. Yep. Oh, I didn't even have to do that. I forgot to deactivate. So actually, you know what? Maybe we should do 250. 250 might work well. Okay, so why don't we just do this? So the way we're actually going to do is we're just going to, what do we do for this? We do every 400, right? That's cobblestone. I also added a limit to the amount of cobblestone. You can only hold 8 now. So yeah, this is it. So yeah, it's every 400. So we're just going to copy one of these commands. So if your score is block timer, we're going to give you 4 seconds. I think is pretty decent. And we want to do a score of 200. We'll give you slowness. We'll give you slowness 1. So when you start off, no, 250. We said 250. 250 is a nice round number. Now we're just going to copy this one, and we're going to place this down. Now, this just shows for the weakness of the slowness. It doesn't actually correlate to pickaxes like the other one did, which isn't as nearly as nice. 250, 500, slowness 2. Now remember, you can't always reuse objectives, but I find it nicer to keep using the same objectives, or to use different objectives for different minigames. Obviously, you can do it however you want, but that's just my suggestion. 250, so we had 500, and then some 50, slowness, and then block. Oh, we gotta go over. Yep, there it is. Block. So yeah, this one we just stone, iron. I think we're gonna go diamond, gold, and then emerald. Emerald will be deathmatch. So iron, gold, emerald. You know what? We can go even one further. Emerald, and then of course deathmatch, which will be a good friend. If I can find it, obsidian. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is not movable, right? Slowness 10, 7. Yeah, you can't move a 7 with 6. You can wait for it to wear off. You can see up in the corner as soon as our reset. Yeah, you can move. Oh god, that's gonna be insane. Remember, you'll still be able to jump, and if you sprint, yeah, you can probably make it but it gets incredibly difficult by the time your slowness is going to, and we're going to have messages. We're going to add messages, right? That will say slowness increasing, or pickaxe upgrading, slowness increasing. 1000, slowness 4. 1000, 250, slowness 5. And by then that you will have died before we even get to. Wait, what was the last number? It was 250. So 250 to that, slowness, and then death match, slowness 6. Now there's lots of different workarounds we could do to make it even more 150, no limit. To make it so it's even less by putting items on your head, which give you a slower slowness, but I think it's more effective if you can actually see the status effect. I think it just adds an extra dimension. Did we get our slowness? We did get a slowness. Now we'll get messages that say slowness increasing. Now it's not until 250, so we're doing pretty decent. I think we've just been hit by, there we go, we got hit by another slowness. Still possible. I mean, we're still going good. Remember, you don't have hunger, so you don't have to worry about not sprinting. Hit by another slowness. Oh, this is actually really intense. We haven't even fallen, but I mean, we will also have a timer mode, which there won't be a deathmatch for single player, and it will tell you how long you lasted. Oh, we're about to hit another slowness. We might actually not remove jumping, because jumping makes it pretty effective to staying alive. Even the slowness, I'm not even sure if it's like, I mean, it's obviously there and we're obviously increasing, but it's like not really making the map that hard actually. Like, I don't know, but I feel like I can do this for ages. I might just be because there's no other players here. I just want to see until we get the death slowness. Which, actually, I think we have. Yeah, we have the death slowness. So jumping definitely makes a difference. It's allowing us to survive. If we're just walking, I don't think you could do it. So, and we just lost our effect. Oh wait, never mind, we didn't. I thought we did. Yeah, so this is definitely possible to go really far with just one layer. I'm not going to go any higher. I might make a death match where you lose your jumping ability at 3,000, because I doubt anyone will last so long. And remember, we died. Remember the fact that there is also the there's other players. I can't even move. I have to break these and wait for the slowness to run off. There's other players, so it will be even more difficult. Now we need to give ourselves a couple effects. We want to, yeah, I think we definitely need to add a death match, because, like a further death match where you can't jump. So I'm thinking death is, of course, the end of the game, i.e. end stone. Again, this might look a little bit chaotic, but at least if you're looking for a specific command, you know exactly where it is. It just looks like I just have a bunch of blocks on top of it. But it is actually really helpful, even if you only use the blocks once, to at least know which commands are which. Obviously, this is the weakest, second, boom, boom, and this is just the order in which it increases. Now, we're actually going to need to add 2 command blocks for slowness. So first we're going to add a jump boost command. And for jump, obviously jump green. So we're going to add these to represent jump boost. Now, we are going to take this command block, we're going to paste it in, and if you don't have, and we're going to remove min, and if you're less than 250,000, I think that's pretty good, you will get jump boost 1255. And then if you're more than 50,000, you will get jump boost 200. Now this should make us not jump. Effective P jump boost 1, 2, 3, or we can just do 20 seconds. 200 true. Yeah, you cannot jump. Now obviously there's this nice little jitter thing you can do, but which actually allows you to continue with the map, but you're not actually jumping. There's a jitter effect. You can see it. Here, look. I'm sprinting. Jump. Jump. Oh, and it ran off. Okay. Now, if we're going to try this, you might assume it works, but I believe it shouldn't actually. You might think, well, why is that? We actually have here, why don't we just replicate this? So we're going to copy this command block. We're going to copy this command block. And now this is super easy, cheesy way super cheesy way of replicating stuff. So now we can't jump. We're going to scoreboard players set at a block timer, and we want it to be 2499. We can jump, we take no fall damage. Yep. Now we set it to 2. Oh, you know what? It did work, didn't it? Huh. You know what? That might actually work, just exactly like that. I didn't think it would, but who knows? Alright, now of course we want to test this out, which is actually pretty fun with me because I actually like this game quite a bit. Now let me start it up. Game mode 2. Remember, we have to be in game mode 2 for the commands to break, otherwise spectators can break these. We do need to add some messages on your action bar which say slowness increasing, or we have another option which could be your levels replicate the slowness. We've been hit by slowness. I'm going to try walking and just see how far we can actually get. You can definitely do it just by walking. Now obviously players are going to be jumping. When we get hit by another slowness, I'm going to have to start jumping though, probably. We've been hit by it, and I'm managing to survive. Now remember, again, other players. Actually, I wonder if you could. Here, if you're just right up against the edge. This is probably the most cheesy strat ever. Are we gonna die? Yeah, we're gonna die. Um. And of course, it's also really obvious as your field of view goes. Ah, I missed it. As your field of view decreases. This is definitely a really cool game, I think. It has a lot of nice features. Obviously, this is a popular game, this block decay thing. It's like TNT Run. But it's nice. It's got a nice twist with the slowness because otherwise it's just TNT Run, except slower paced. So why don't we see how we're doing? We are pretty good. We have not yet reached the jump boost limit. I'm going to just cut, keep running around, and not die. Alright, I cut. Oh, and we can't jump anymore. Or we can't walk anymore. We have to be jumping. And I just want to see. We're almost there. We just have 500, I think I said, too, because 3,000 was actually quite a bit longer than I realized. So why don't we just, we're about to get there. We're about to get there. 500. There it is. There it is. Oh my gosh, you can actually do this. It's definitely possible to stay alive while having no jump boost. While not being able to jump, I mean, I'm doing it and I'm about to die. How have I not died yet? If you spam, you can obviously hear the keyboard. But if you spam it, you can definitely survive. But basically all the terrain is gone. And if you're not spamming it, oh, you know what, I'm better run into that wall. I better use my mouse. I'm not. I don't think you are going to survive. But this is definitely hilarious. Look how slow I'm moving. Oh, I think I messed myself up. Oh my gosh, that was insane. Now, spectators do get the slowness, but I think it's perfectly fine because if we can actually summon a creeper, go into it, your zoom does reset, so look, boom. And we want to, of course, go off of, look at that. Oh, look at that. Is that a glitch? Oh, glitch found. Minecraft. Well, this is like, and of course, if you don't like this, you can always, the field of view, you can always just, that's actually normal, isn't it? This feels like normal. I think this might be normal. No, as soon as I break these command blocks, and this is going to look hilarious. Wait for it. Bam. Nope. Bam. Yeah. Oh, wow. No, I think that's actually pretty funny. It's definitely a working method. You can definitely play it now, like with this method. It obviously is working. Now we need to add some commands. So first off, we want to add some commands for when your pickaxe is upgraded and when the slowness increases. Now, slowness increasing is going to be a really big thing, and then we'll of course have a command for jump, or you cannot jump anymore, like a jump loss, bold green. But I think, yeah, this is definitely coming along pretty great. I don't know if I'm going to have time to do that right now, so I think I'm just going to, let me just do some things, and then I'll think about what we're going to do. Yeah, I don't think we have enough time to do that, so I'll probably do that off camera. But I do have some things to show off. First off, you know what, I should probably change this to redstone block. Control copy. And we're just going to adjust this ever so slightly. Okay, so now we have this still working. But you'll notice, here's what I actually did. So we made it up so there's a timer, always a timer, with, of course, your ding, 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 ding. Whoa. That's a glitch. Oh, no, it's not, because you would have had a reset earlier. Okay. When you activate it, since our game is on it, it's at the block here, but we didn't get these commands to run first, which is what allows us to set our score to reset, which you'll see right now. Well, it's actually loading the map. And our score is reset. Now, we do have something real quick to actually work on right before we're going to end this, and that is we want to make the number of layers customizable. So we're going to add scoreboard objectives list again, and you'll notice we did spleef map, so we're going to call it block layers. I always do that. And dummy, because I'm a dummy. No, just because it's arbitrary. Yeah. So now what we need to do is we need to look at this. Alright, so first off we need to find out where this is. So we're going to run a fill command to clear this up. Okay, so this is all empty. Nice and pretty. Now we want our first command. When we fly back over here and paste it in, and where does it spawn us? Alright, so it's at the very bottom. So when you fall, we have a couple options. Should you fall all the way down? I think you should, actually. So this one will activate no matter what. That's easy. Okay, next we need to do scoreboard. And what is it called? It's just did this. Block layers. And we're going to allow ourselves to hold control. Easily customize the number of block layers. Now, one will always activate. But we are going to have it set to 1, just so we know what intentionally. But the bottom layer will always activate. Next, we're going to do this, which is, where is it? This over here. I didn't hold. Alright, control. Now we're going to fly over here. And this is the first layer, so this is probably the middle layer, I'm assuming, based upon if I'm good at command blocks. And this is called number 2, and if it's min, and this is called block layers, right? Was it block layers? I keep forgetting. Yes, it was block layers. So now I'm just going to hold down control, copy that, paste that in, and we're going to change this to 3. Now I'm going to put some nice good old sand over here. I'm going to put 1, 2, and 3. You know what? Let's just do signs. Signs are a nice way to make it obvious. Well, 1 layer, 2 layers, 3 layers. Now these commands can go anywhere we want, and they will most likely stay here forever, but they'll be copied. We'll make a copy of them and put them into the lobby, so you can choose. For more customizability, having lots of different options for maps is really nice. It has just a lot of potential. So we want to test it out with 1 layer. That worked. Let's start it up. Game mode 2. Oh, right. You fall. You still have your jump boost, so you don't take fall damage, which is pretty perfect. It's obviously working. So now we can leave. And we can do 2 layers. That's 1 layer. That is 2. We can now leave. And we can do 3 layers. And we will see if this worked. We, of course, forgot to set these to... don't worry, when the game ends, all the redstone blocks right over here will reset. Now, you'll notice those. There we go. 1 there. 2 there. 3 there. We don't have a 4th layer? No, we do not. So that's perfect. So that is layers. Choosing the amount of layers we have completely customizable. And in case anyone's curious, this is what it does look like. Brightness, bright, without the night vision. And I have done a little bit of a double safety precaution, just so that way they can't even see out of it. Now, obviously, you won't be able to fly over here. You can see down. If you go through this at the right angle, you won't be able to actually get all this all the way over here. But you can't see out of the map. But we have added a double net catch, I guess. So to catch all people trying to see what the map looks like on the outside. That is prevented now. Now we still have some slight problems with what's it called, steps being weird, but that's just because there's steps. There's nothing we can do about this. The outside's nice, and there's no way to actually get yourself caught in it. That might be a problem, but nope, it's solid. It's just like these slight half bits. It looks really decent, I think. If you look at this, we have a nice dark, 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 and then spruce, or dark, dark, dark spruce, which I think seems to fit it pretty decently. And then, of course, we have our just nice spruce wall in the back. I'm not actually sure what we're going to do for the lobby. I think in the last episode I asked you, but I haven't had the time to check out the comments on that video because that's actually not uploaded. That's coming out when this video is being recorded. That will come out today, and this will come out the day after. So if I make announcements on Twitter or something, which you should follow me on, link in the description. If I make any notifications or any announcements, maybe make a poll about what the map should be, or what should I add in the map. It's probably going to be one video early, so definitely stick around for that, and follow me on Twitter if you haven't. Of course, if you haven't seen the other episodes, this is just where we there definitely were something checking out. We've actually had a lot of funny experiences, although it's a little bit confusing to me because I record and then I see your reviews one day late, but I think I'm going to try and keep it with this method. This method seems to be working pretty great, so I'm not going to complain. It's just everything's working out fine. So tell me what you think. If you're new to the channel, this is the outro, by the way. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. After maybe checking out a few more videos, we definitely have a lot on the channel, so be sure to watch some other ones. Leave a like if you enjoyed this mapping video and you want to see more of mapping, and even after we finish Slow-Mo and Piston Wars, we might even continue with other ideas. Piston Wars, if you don't know what that is, you know what, this is the outro. Piston Wars is basically a 1.13 map that we're waiting for some more snapshots to come out before we work on it a bit more. We're focusing on this. That's what the next couple videos on this channel will be. So leave a like if you enjoy this and you want to see more of it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Definitely check out more videos. Share it with your friends so I get more views, and that way they won't complain about being bored. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye. And I forgot to hit the end.